Hi, good morning. Sometimes we meet people who are just assholes naturally, but they can't help it. They're just raised that way. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of September, 2025. It is exactly 6 years since I filed a separation and joint custody in the light of the mother of my kids failing to return, having been forced by the government of Norway to do so. I'm going to see if I can't stand, but I'm working on this camera comfortability. In either event, Rosasen versus Norway, as in Risk versus Norway, is different from your normal mother and dad custody case in the sense that it is the government who has conspired to abduct children under the pretext of custody matters and has forced the parties to abscond and not have the ability to reunite. The legal question if foreign governments should be allowed to abduct and torture with immunity should be a very clear no. The legal question if foreign governments, when they're served, can avoid entering a plea and get away with not being default judged, and if a foreign government can show the finger to the Supreme Court and not comply with Supreme Court orders, is a serious question. I would argue that both makes it very clear that they may not, and we have not had a case prior to in U.S. history where a foreign government has done this. So with that said, I need help spreading out a message, which is that Norway takes more kids per capita than any other nation in the world. That it's been 1,998 days as of the 23rd of September 2025 since my kids last saw me, and that is a violation of the Federal Honorable Judge John F. Walter's 31st of March 2020 order vacating trial due to having been given false information while my attorney was sick with COVID that I somehow had agreed to not have trial. What happened to my children, the U.S. citizens by birth, was un-American, unconstitutional, and next to the government of Norway, their grandma, former mother-in-law from hell, has been helping hide my children. Evidence in point is that when my children were 4, had not turned 5 yet, within 2 months of being abducted to Norway, they told me, Daddy, Grandma said that when we're with Grandma, we don't get to speak to you because she said mean things to Grandma. First of all, that wasn't true, and second of all, it had been. It's not what you're supposed to tell 4-year-olds. It's called parental alienation. And for any God-loving, fearing people out there, the grandmother of my kids is an atheist. And my kids told me specifically that Grandma said that we don't have to sing grace before we eat. Excuse my French, who the fuck is she? So for anyone listening to this, when you meet someone from Norway, just ask them 2 simple questions. Why does your government take more children per capita than any other nation in the world? And what do you believe can be done to stop that?